All right, so there's this kind of weird variation on the church collection plate going around here. I'll get to the ducks in a minute, but what we're going to do is we're going to talk about Lego. And I wrote a book about Lego. I didn't mean to. I was going to write a book about innovation and innovation management. It was going to be kind of a typical boring business book, where every chapter was a piece of the framework, and then there was an example of a company to illustrate that framework, and at the end it builds to that thrilling conclusion. And I'd done a couple of case studies of companies, and then I saw Lego, and I saw this amazing story of a company that had, because of the way it thought about innovation, had gone through some incredible ups and downs. They doubled the size of the company every 5 years for 15 years. They introduced new themes, pirates and Wild West and trains. They go into North America. They do tremendously well for 15 years. And then the string runs out. This is Lego's sales during the mid-90s, from 94 to 98. And there's kind of a natural end to that growth period, right? I mean, just like we're hearing from Mitchell, right? There's a natural flow of things, but then the world changes. And what worked before doesn't work anymore. But Lego kept kind of coming back to that, let's do the same thing, but let's do more of it. And so I actually got the catalogs. I counted the number of new toys that they introduced between 94 and 98. And they introduced 109 new kits in 1994. They introduced 347 in 1998, more than tripling the number of new kits. But sales didn't go anywhere. What do you think happened to costs? Right? So what happened to profits? They ended up having their first loss in company history in 1998. But Mads Nipper, the head of all of product development and marketing, called his 600 people together into 2 sets of meetings and held up a Firetruck. And this is his slide. I got his slide from him. And he said, this is where we started to go wrong. This is our Firetruck from 1997. It wasn't very good, but this is where we hit bottom. This isn't a fire truck, it's a spaceship. We will never do something like this again. This is who we are. And this fire truck, this kit 7239, I think is the most important toy in Lego's history, because what it showed to Lego internally was how much could be done under very limited constraints. Half the number of pieces. You couldn't invent the future of play. You had to be focused on a great police station or fire truck. And when they challenged the team to do that, the team responded. And the market responded. This fire truck was incredibly popular. Which brings us back to the ducks. Think about this exercise. Right? You had 1 minute, 6 pieces to build a duck. That is about the most constrained creative challenge we could possibly think of. And look at what you came up with. Look at the variety. Look at the creativity. I mean, some of these are more duck-like than others. But there's some amazing possibilities here, that even under the most constrained innovation challenge I could possibly think of, that what you've created is incredible in terms of the range and creativity, the results that we got. And that's what Lego learned. That was one of the first lessons Lego learned, is that to deliver what the customer cared about, that creative construction experience, involved focusing and directing the efforts of its people toward that core experience that Lego wanted, that fire truck, that police station, under very tight constraints. And so, Lego, through these toys and many others, learned this lesson that it's not enough to just offer another box of bricks. It's not enough to just do the same thing better each year. It's necessary, but it's not sufficient to be successful in the market. That, in fact, that is just innovating inside the box. And that worked for a while for Lego, but it wasn't enough. But if that isn't enough, you can't leave the box. Right? You can't do that experimentation. You can't just focus on disruption. Lego is still looking at what is the next big thing? How do we reinvent the future of play? But the core of Lego is still innovating around the box. And that's what's really been successful for them.